Our expectations for the study weren't very high because when your boss is asking you to do something, even though it starts out as an option, in a lot of ways you don't feel like it's an option, it's more of an obligation. I actually thought it was going to be almost more of a classroom or a learning environment and then discussing with your team what you've learned. So I was actually picturing it as much more of a traditional learning setting than I was compared to what it ended up being. It's a very different picture than what you perceive on just a first impression or a first meeting. And what you find is really everybody has a lot of good things in their lives, but they have the hard things also. And I really came away from the program honestly believing that we're all created equal in that fact that nobody has the perfect situation or the perfect setting. The 5 years since the program has ended, the benefit to me on that is that I've yet to find a single person that I would want to trade places with. So regardless of the fact that we all have our ups and downs in life, I'm very happy with the life I have, the family I have, the friends I have, and wouldn't want to be anybody else. Prior to the UIC study, I had a bad habit of interrupting people in mid-sentence. And as a matter of fact, while people would be talking, half the time I really wasn't listening to what they were saying. I was already formulating my response to the topic or the discussion that we were having. What I noticed after about 6 months going through the program on our monthly meetings, I noticed that actually in retrospect, that was a habit that I had eliminated. I was listening more and I was no longer interrupting people. I've had my ups and downs, and I always say, I've been on top, I've been on the bottom, and I'll be in both places again. So it hasn't just been a smooth ride of I've learned these new skills or habits, I think is a better way of putting it, and it's been a constant uphill ride of things constantly getting better. But I think that's where the value of the habits that I developed have really come into play. As I was going through good times in my work environment and I respected all of those around me, I found that they were really much more collaborative and willing to help and work with me. As I went through some adversity, I found that didn't change, that these were really true professional relationships that weren't dependent on a title or a position. Now that the program has ended 5 years later and I see how much it continues to be part of who I am and who I develop into, now it's even more so of a benefit, and I just count my blessings that I wasn't in the control group and that I ended up being in the study. This was a life-changing experience for me because it helps me to be more dimensional. And what I mean by that is that in the past I would have always felt the need to be aggressive, to take charge. And what I found is that being a good leader means that sometimes you have to be strong, make solid decisions, and take charge. But sometimes being a good leader also means taking a step back and helping others to be successful.